Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. The books that I sent, my video game related books that I sent to CGC are back. They've actually been back for like a week or so. So the modern tier CGC submissions are coming back super fast. Like I was like shocked. So I was really excited about that and really happy that they came back. And I've looked at the grades, so it's not like it's not a reveal to me, but it will be revealed to you. But overall, I'm quite happy with the grades. They could have been worse, but actually shocked by some of some of the books I got back. So, and the values of them, like great. Like I think grading your it's probably a good time to grade your collections, or at least the moderns that have like a lot of value right now, if you're wanting to try to sell them, especially if you have that chance to get a 9.8. But yeah, this is going to be a showcase of those books that I got back. So first off, I got God of War 4. I like this series. As far as like an investment or a spec series, great game series. They're doing stuff. Amazon's doing stuff with them, doing a series with them. Hopefully, they don't mess it up. But this is God of War 4. The whole series has value. 1 through 6. I bought like 4 books for on eBay a while back that I thought had a potential to be 9.8. But I submitted 1, 2, and 4 in this submission. But this I submitted. These all have great covers, and it's a low print run. But they gave me a 9.8, which I'm happy with. Could be worse, could be better. I don't actually. It could get too much worse or too much better than that. There's like a couple 9 point. I want to say there's a 9.9 on the census, so I'm not complaining. This book I might move because just to recruit some funds from my investment of the God of War stuff, but I'm liking it. But this is like a $150 book at least, so that's nice. Next up, we got God of War 2. Basically, second, I guess, like, I just got it because it's the second one in the series, and I had it. So we got this one. We got a 9.6. So not too crazy. Still, it'll be affordable for someone who wants the key or wants the book. So that will probably be like $50 to $75. Who knows? Maybe even less. But this is the money maker right here. This is God of War 1 right here. I'm glad this came back a 9.8, which I'm glad, because this is going to be a personal collection type deal. Probably be in the PC for quite a bit. But this one, when I bought this collection, it had like, just like, it wasn't flat. Like there was like kind of like a foldy bend. Nothing color breaking. It was just a little floppy, I guess. And I had the guy press it before. The guy that I sent it to, he's local comic book store, great guy. And and I told him to press it. He did. I'm glad he remembered, because I ended up getting a 9.8, which is now this is like a $300-400 book, depending on what time or deal or whatever you get for it, and it might catch heat down the line. I know there might be some other variants of this, but this is the cover A. I think people are gonna be drawn to this, just like you know, the Last of Us one. But glad to have it a 9.8. Probably be in the personal collection for quite a long time. But yeah, God of War. Let's see what we got. This is okay. This is Horizon Zero Dawn. Free comic book day. A lot of people, I don't think a lot of people know about this. It is the first appearance of Aloy in the Horizon Zero Dawn series. But obviously you want this in a 9.8. It's a free comic book day. There's a lot of copies out there, I'm sure. But with free comic day, it's like people grab them. They're not thinking, you know, down the line of or at the moment. They're not thinking about this is the first appearance of this and that and this. And I guess Netflix owns this property. They're going to do something with it. But I end up getting a 9.6, which isn't too terrible, but I have multiple copies of this, so I might end up submitting more. So that is that. This is, let's see, Mega Man. The Mega Man, first appearance Mega Man. This has a low print run, I'm sure, but somebody's doing something with this property. I forget who it is. I think I talked about it last video, but this, I thought this was not going to get a high grade because there's some issues. But with the thing about this is I'm getting it encapsulated. If a lot of stuff I think could be pressed, but I end up getting 9.4. All of these are going to be white pages. So 9.4 Mega Man. This one I found in a dollar bin, but it has gotten a lot of heat lately. Warhammer Monthly, number 0. Henry Cavill's doing stuff with this property. A lot of I think there's a lot of fan interest in it. Big fan base. Don't know a lot about it. I just know that these Warhammer Monthlies have sick covers. I mean, like the art on it, I don't know. I gotta look more into it. Who's doing the cover on this? But I know I got a 9.6, which I don't think there's a lot of cover. I don't think there's a lot of copies on the census. There's like a 9.8, I think, going on eBay or something, like thousands of dollars, you know what I mean? Asking. But this is probably going to have some value to it because there's not a lot out there now. Now more people are going to be submitting this. There's going to be more in the census. This didn't get pressed. I think overall it could get to a 9.8 if it gets a little, just a nice press to it. But I just submitted it to get it out there, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna put more time and energy into it, but I'm happy with a 9.6. But yeah, I'm gonna hold on to this until we see more of what's going on with Henry Cavill's Warhammer, okay? Until a trailer drops, until we see something. But look out for this one though, in dollar bins, in back, just thrift shops, anything. This is where I found an antique little thing that they just had it in there for $1. But there's Warhammer. Happy with that grade. Now we got Gears of War #1 by DC Wildstorm. Oh gosh, who? Netflix. Netflix is doing the property of this. I think I'm a little bit more excited when Netflix does it, because I don't know, it seems like, I don't know, Amazon's been kind of dropping a ball on a lot of stuff. So I'm a little bit more excited about this. They're doing, I think Gears of War is doing a movie, and they're doing an animated series or something. That's what they say. But this cover is gotta be getting, this is an all black spine, all black cover. This has got to be hard to get in a 9.8. There is actually 9.9s and 10.0s on the census, so be aware of that. But the 9.8, they're going for $200-300, maybe more for the 9.8. But Gears of War #1, we got a 9.6. So overall, okay. Yes, would like a 9.8, but I think this series, if you haven't read, I read the 1 through 6 of Gears of War. Man, that's some good stuff. Liam Sharp, I guess, I did the art of this series. Great, just art, just great story. Kind of a fun read, actually. Underrated, I guess, series. And I think they did a couple other series, Gears of War series. Basically just like war, killing the hive people. Just great art. I remember playing the game with a friend. He had an Xbox, so that's why. But I love that series. Love the property. I'm interested to see what Netflix does with it. Hopefully they don't screw it up. But good to have in the collection. All right, we got another one. This is Tomb Raider Witchblade. I was like, this has got to get, when I sent it, and I was like, this has a potential to get a 9, like guaranteed lock potential of 9.8. And I was like, man, it got some attention to it because they announced whatchamacallit, a series or whatever coming up through Amazon or whatever. But I'm not too excited about it because they're putting somebody that the showrunner of it is I'm not a fan of. But first appearance Lara Croft. And we got 9.8. So I think I might end up selling this just to recoup some of the money I put into all these books. I remember buying this for like $3 or something 2 years ago. And I don't know what a 9.8 would be. I'm guessing around $500. Maybe $500 or best offer. I think that's probably what I'll end up selling it for. But there you go. Nice to have that. Now we got 3 more books. We got Last of Us, American Dreams, #1. This is the series for Last of Us, but this is a different variant. This is This is the survival edition. I guess it came with like the pre-order of Last of Us, the first one. But this book went through the stratosphere like a month or two ago with the show. At least, well, the cover A did, because it had like a 6,000 print run or whatever. I don't know exactly how many of these are out there, but I know it still commands value. But ended up getting a 9.6. But the story behind this is that I ended up trading. This was at a Second and Charles, and I ended up trading a bunch of CDs and DVDs. Ended up getting store credit, and they had this under, like, in a glass case for $70. So not bad investment overall, but I might end up selling this because I'm not a crazy fan of Last of Us. Like, to tell you the truth, I've tried to start playing the game. I've been like, I'm so behind on games that it's just like I have such a backlog, and I need to like get back into it. But I might end up selling this. If I had to guess, this would be like $300 online, you know, or maybe even more. If it was a 9.8, it'd be a lot more. But either way, got two more books here. This one is a personal collection book that I will, this is going to be a PC book until I find a better copy. Call of Duty Zombies. This is just basically me to have for nostalgia reasons, because I love Call of Duty Zombies on Black Ops. Played the hell out of it with friends, just, you know, countless nights, you know, into like 4 o'clock in the morning playing zombies, and rounds after rounds into rounds. But this book has value. Unless you find it in a dollar bin or whatever, which I want to say this has a low print run, but online you're gonna pay like $50 unless you get a deal. Now, I got lucky on sniping my comic shop that posted it for like $7, but they had it at a fine, very fine. Now, though, there's issues with this, and I knew going into it that this was not gonna get anything in the 9s. If it did, it would be a fluke. But I end up getting an 8.0, which isn't bad. There's a lot of spine issues that you probably can't tell through the camera, but I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, you see that? Yeah. But I think those are all pressable eventually. Like, look at that. Yeah. So if I ever wanted to crack this out, like years down the line, if this like they ever do anything with this property, then I'll end up doing that. But it will be a PC book. Now, this one, I was shocked. This is why you need to check your collection, guys. I'm going back and looking at my collection and being like, what was that? Was that a newsstand? What is this? What is that? Is this like a special variant of something? Like, oh, let me look in the inside and see if it's a double cover. You know what I mean? I sent this in. I'm like, this is a newsstand, blip number 1, not high grade. I remember paying, it was $70 at the time. Maybe even be like 2 years ago or 1.5 years ago. And they had it at a 4.0. But I was like, yeah, let me, because I was just buying everything at the time. But I get this back and it says Canadian price variant. I'm like, what? I didn't even know that. And it's a Canadian price variant. I just thought it was a newsstand. But yeah, it's a Canadian price variant. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, this is actually quite rare. The Canadian price variant of this one. So I was kind of shocked and surprised by that, but I was actually pretty happy. But yeah, blip number 1, Canadian price variant. I ended up getting a 6.5, which not the highest grade, but better than the 4.0 that my comic shop had it at. But there is some spine issues. But there's only like, I forget what's on the census for the Canadian one, but there's only like 20 or less on the census that off the top of my head. But it's definitely worth more than the regular blip at this thing at 6.5 or whatever. Now, this never got pressed or anything, so it might have an opportunity to grade bump, but maybe not. But first appearance of Mario and Donkey Kong, great to have in the collection. For being a Canadian price rate, I've been thinking about selling it, but at the same point, I'm like, when am I ever going to find another one like this? Anyways, that is the CGC video game submission. Hope you enjoyed it. It was fun getting them back, and it kind of gives you an idea of like grades, how they're grading stuff, you know, and you're kind of like how to spot a 9.8. So definitely interesting, definitely fun to do. I'm going to be submitting more for sure. I got a bunch of Spider-Man stuff, Star Wars stuff, Good Girl art stuff, anime stuff, TV and cartoon stuff. So keep an eye out for that content I'm about to be putting out. But thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you on the next video. I'll see y'all later. Bye.